The member for Indi.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Infrastructure and Transport. Minister, the Victorian Government has committed as an interim measure to refurbishing rolling stock for the North East Line, while the plan for replacing the entire fleet with new trains is completed. Can you please tell the Parliament what your government is going to do to ensure that the people of North East Victoria have an efficient, effective, reliable and modern train service?
The Minister for Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Indi for her question, and I note her ongoing interest and determination to take credit for all of the Coalition's policies in relation to regional Australia. There's many great Coalition policies for jobs and growth. In fact, there's a whole smorgasbord of great Coalition policies for regional Australia. And the member for Indi, as an independent member, has actually had no impact on the development of those great policies in relation to roads recovery or mobile phone black spots or the Bridges Renewal program. No impact whatsoever, Mr Speaker. But because this government believes in the future of regional Australia, and because the Coalition is passionate about jobs—
Minister will resume his seat. Members will cease interjecting. The member for Indi on a point of order, and member for Indi will state the point of order.
Is about relevance. The question was about trains.
The minister has the call. He will ensure that he is relevant to the question.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker. And because this government is focused on the future of regional Australia, and because the Coalition is passionate about jobs and growth in every regional community, and we have a very proud record of delivering for the people of Indi. And in relation to the detail of the question the member for Indi raised, the Australian government-owned Australian Rail Track Corporation operates the rail track between Melbourne and Albury, and the responsibility for the passenger train services resides with the Victorian Government, as the member has correctly indicated. And we do note that the Border Rail Action Group did have some criticism, which it made of the Victorian Government's announcement last week, and has called on the Victorian Government to actually provide new rolling stock. So the member has received regular updates from the ARTC in relation to the North East Railway line, and I look forward, if in fact a request does come forward to the Victorian Government, to consider it in the appropriate manner. Now, the member for Indi would be aware that the ARTC has benefited. The program in relation to the ARTC on the North East Line has benefited in the order of $134 million of federal government funding, starting with the previous government and continuing under the current government. But passenger services are primarily a matter for the state government to consider. And I would take the opportunity to make the point, given the member asked in relation to infrastructure, there has been a lot of interest in road and rail infrastructure across Indi in recent times. A lot of interest across the whole electorate. Two people in particular have been particularly focused on the infrastructure in Indi. The Nationals candidate for Marty Indi, Marty Corboy, has rung me on many occasions. A good local businessman, passionate about the future of Indi, a champion for improving infrastructure in Indi. Now, those opposite asked about what about Sophie. Well, the member for Indi, Sophie Mirabella, has rung me as well, and she's passionate about the future of the infrastructure needs of the community of Indi. She's rang me in support of her community on road and rail infrastructure. She's determined to deliver for the people of Indi because this government, this coalition, is determined to deliver for all regional communities. Now, they've rung me in relation to a whole range of regional funds, and I note that this is the coalition, this is the government that's actually delivered for all regional communities because we're passionate about jobs and we're passionate about growth. We will continue to deliver for the people of Indi into the future, and I thank the member for her question.